Welcome to today's episode of Heard and Seen Around. I am Rajesh Karipurath. This is my take on macroeconomic and geoeconomic data points which I find interesting. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed curating it. Cheers.
Everything is funny, as long as it's happening to someone else. I've discovered the secret of life, you just get used to it. Any order that can be misunderstood has been strategy, a plan that sounds expensive enough to be taken seriously. Policy is what survives contact with reality by avoiding it.
This is not just redrawing maps, it's rewriting political gravity. Based on population delimitation shifts, seats towards the Hindi heartland, while the south risks losing share. The irony, states that control population growth best may now lose representation, while faster growing regions gain more voice. That makes this less about arithmetic and more about the federal balance. Who speaks louder in parliament tomorrow? Economically, it could reshape policy priorities, spending patterns, and even reform momentum. One map, many consequences. India's non-profit sector is now an 11 trillion rupees engine, big, growing, and quietly critical. But here's the catch. The money isn't flowing evenly. Funding is clustered in richer states, while large NGOs are plateauing and newer tech-driven incubators are grabbing momentum. So the sector is expanding, but also fragmenting. More players, more capital, but not necessarily where it's needed most. It's scale without perfect distribution. Like George Bernard Shaw said, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. There is no right age to get rich, just widely different timelines. Mark Zuckerberg at 23, Warren Buffett hitting billionaire status in his 50s, and Amancio Ortega taking it all the way to 65. What's the pattern? There isn't one. Some ride explosive tech waves early, others compound quietly for decades. Fast money grabs headlines, slow money builds empires. So if you're behind, you're probably just on a different curve. Samsung Electronics isn't just big, it's bigger than the next 9 combined. At $910 billion of market capitalization, it basically is the market. This is concentration on steroids. Memory chips, phones, semiconductors. When Samsung moves, the entire index sneezes. The upside, global leadership, scale, pricing power. The risk, one company quietly carries a nation's market sentiment. Diversification sounds great until one stock does all the heavy lifting. At the top sits SBI Mutual Fund with 12.7 lakh crores. And that's not just leadership, that's scale doing the talking. Right behind are ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund and HDFC Mutual Fund, the usual heavyweight trio. This is a classic industry structure. Trust plus distribution is equal to AUM dominance. Big banks, big networks, big flows. But here's the nuance. While the top AMCs hold a huge chunk, the long tail still controls over a quarter of the pie. So concentration is high but not absolute. In asset management, size does not just attract money, it keeps it. Startup funding hasn't vanished, it's just grown standards. Capital is chasing real demand and not just good decks. E-commerce still leads because if consumers are buying, investors are listening. Fintech stays sticky, riding payments, lending, and wealth rails. But the shift is clear. AI, deep tech, and enterprise tech are pulling serious money. Less hype, more infrastructure. Less storytelling, more execution. Even clean tech and health tech are quietly building momentum. Long-term bets, but not quick flips.